Ah, it's a beautiful morning, Grunge.
Yes, sir?
But I've been too long in City Pent. Last night I dreamt I was at Haggard Hall again.
Indeed, sir.
The crows were calling from the great elms. Hay wains creaked along the dusty roads. And on the air I could hear the drone of the bee, drunk with nectar, returning homewards. And I would do the same.
You can't. You haven't paid the bill.
What? Then bring the horses round to the rear gate. We'll leave before breakfast.
I can't. The landlord's locked them up. And your big jest.
Why?
Against settlement.
You mean he doesn't trust me?
No, he says you're a scurvy knave and he's looking through the wanted posters.
Roderick, arise. Our honour has been impugned.
What? Where is the rascal? I'll have his teeth for cufflinks.
No, it's money we need, not violence. How much money do you have, Roderick? Now, tell me frankly.
All I have is the lucky sixpence you gave me to wear about my neck. You told me whilst I had that, I'd never be destitute.
You've just become destitute.
But, Father, now I have nothing left in the world.
And what's happened to the fourpence I gave you last night?
I gave it to a girl on Westminster Bridge.
Oh, indeed.
She was selling gingerbread.
Oh, so you bought gingerbread, did you?
I gave her fourpence for an extra large portion.
Oh.
And, you get enough, sir?
More than I could manage.
Oh, and was it tasty?
Well, why don't you try some? There's plenty left.
What, you fool? You spent our last fourpence on gingerbread when ruin stares us in the face?
What would you like me to do, Father? Go out into the streets and beg?
Roderick, no Haggard has ever begged. We've known hard times, but we're a proud family and bow the knee to no man. We'd starve and see our children starve before we beg for money. No, Grunge will beg.
What? Wait a minute, I've never begged before.
There's nothing to it, Grunge. All you have to say is a penny for a cup of tea, governor. You'll soon get the hang of it.
But Father, Grunge looks too well fed to be a beggar.
Well, we'll starve him. You can go without your breakfast. And pull your stomach in.
And the clothes are too good.
Well, the rip of the shirt. You'll answer that.
It's my best shirt.
How about a few sores?
No, I think you do better with the shakes. Could you manage the shakes? Shaking goes down very well.
No, I can't.
Well, in that case, I think... an honest artisan with the croup. Roderick, the stool. Close your eyes, Grunge. A little more on there. That's better.
Father, if he had a fit and foamed at the mouth, it'd go even better.
Could you manage a fit and a little foaming?
Certainly not.
Oh, well, perhaps some shaving soap. Yeah. Oh, that's certainly an improvement. Roll your eyes, Grunge. Splendid! You look an absolute wreck, Grunge.
Nothing doing. Begging's against the law. I'd go to prison.
You go to prison if you don't pay the bill. Or do you have some money of your own?
No, sir.
Upside down with him, Roderick. No money? You have a guinea.
That's for my old age.
We're damned lucky to reach it, Grunge.
Give me that back. It's mine.
I'm going to teach you about money, Grunge. How one coin will attract another. With Roderick's sixpence and your guinea, I shall work a miracle. You will see and be amazed.
Keep it wet, fella. That chair is taken.
I'm sorry, sir. I was just overcome by fatigue. Any mouldy bread you don't want, sir?
Certainly not. Do I look like a man who eats mouldy bread, you cur? Get away.
Sorry, sir. You haven't got any orange peel I could suck? Just to keep off the scurvy.
No, but I'm sure they'll have plenty in the workhouse.
What about the apple core? After you with the apple core.
Be damned to you with your apple cores and your beggarly ways. Be gone.
I'm not a beggar, sir. Just an honest artisan with the croup. Oh, excuse me, sir, I'm going to shake. Would you mind holding it on the table, sir? Once I start to shake, I can't stop. It's the palsy, you see. Oh, cool, blimey, here we go. Look at this. That's better. I'm all right now, sir.
Then take your sickly carcass out of here before you feel my sword across your back.
Yes, sir. As soon as I get my strength. Only I slept by the Fleet ditch last night and inhaled the fumes. Still a bit groggy. But don't think I'm frightened of work, sir. I'll rub your horse down for sixpence. I'll rub you down for sixpence. I'm desperate.
Get away. There's nothing wrong with you but a touch of the swipes. If I gave you money, you'd only spend it on gin.
No, sir. You couldn't let me have the rind off that cheese, could you? For the little ones and the wife, who is in a delicate condition.
Yes, you've plenty of strength for that, I'll warrant. Now get you gone before you feel my boot up your backside.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. I'm a physician. May I examine this poor fellow?
You may, but you do better to ignore him, sir. He has the swipes.
No, there's nothing wrong with this poor wretch that a decent meal wouldn't cure. What we have here is hunger. What sort of society is this that treats an honest man so? I am a poor physician. I can hardly sustain myself. But here is sixpence for you, my poor man. And I hope the rest of you can live with your consciences.
Oh, God bless you, sir. I'll crawl out of here as soon as I get my strength back.
One moment. You shame me, sir. I am a rake and a libertine, but pray God I still have some good in me. This poor fellow has made me realize the error of my ways. And I take this guinea I was to wager at the tables and place it in his hat. Gentlemen, we shouldn't just feel in our hearts for this man, but in our pockets.
Well said, sir. Will you join us in this act of charity? Going somewhere, Grant.
Just taking the bags down, sir.
Don't you mean bag? You only appear to have yours.
It's all I can manage.
Is it the groin strain again, Grunge?
Yes, sir.
Then we've done you an injustice. We thought you may have been taking to your heels.
With the money.
As if I would, sir.
How much money was there, Grunge? We were unable to count it. You left in such a hurry.
I think you'll be disappointed.
I thought we might be.
Barely £5 and a groat.
What?
I thought there'd be more than that, didn't you, Roderick?
Yes, they filled your hat, Grunge. And that's a tall order, 7 1/4, isn't it?
But it was mainly change. Skinflints, a lot of them. Big words and small coins. In fact, some even took money out.
Took money out. What's the world coming to? Still, we must make the best of it. And we shall turn this into 50 guineas by this evening.
How, Father?
Money begats money, Roderick. And these little rascals will breed like rabbits for us. All we need is a ring and a rustic.
A ring and a rustic. This is another stratagem.
Exactly. What we need is a man so low, stupid, and ignorant, no one would think him capable of cunning and guile. I am, of course, referring to Brown.
No, I'm not doing anything criminal.
We're not criminals. We're merely using people's greed against themselves.
No, I will not countenance wrongdoing. It is not in my nature.
You'll do it, damn it, or I'll cut your ears off and let your hat fall over your face.
No, Roderick! A man's character is his own affair. And I will be the last man to lead this faithful old retainer down the slippery slope to perdition. No, we should rejoice in his honesty and respect him for it. I take my hat off to you, Grunge.
Sir.
Sir?
Sir, I sat here last night and during the consumption of a mutton chop mislaid a ring. Perchance you may have seen it.
No, sir. Would you describe it?
It is a simple gold ring with a green stone of no great worth, but of considerable sentimental value.
One moment. Do I have the honour of addressing Sir Greville Carew, keeper of the royal codpiece and master of the privy?
The same, sir.
I thought so. I recognised you from the picture by Romney, which hangs in the Academy.
It is a tolerable likeness.
And you wear the ring in the picture.
Indeed. It was given to my father for bridging an open sewer for the king to cross. Using my father's head as a stepping stone, he was able to avoid the vile effluent on his royal personage. And he was forever grateful.
I've heard the story often, sir. And how are things at court?
The king grows madder by the hour. Now he thinks he's a turnip. It's all we can do to prevent him throwing himself into the stew.
Ah, 'tis grave news.
Indeed it is. I fear for the country. I would not like to tell him that I'd lost the ring. He would be most distressed. I shall therefore post a reward of 100 guineas for its safe return. I now must speak with the landlord. Your son, sir.
And yours, sir.
Did you say Sir Greville Carew?
Keeper of the royal codpiece, master of the privy, and the richest man in Westminster.
But he had a hole in his breeches and dirty linen.
Tax evasion. Hasn't paid a penny since 1759.
I've just come up from somewhere where the cider apples grow.
Get out of here, fellow! This room is for gentlemen.
Oh, I realise that, sir, and I would not have intruded, but I seek the advice of a gentleman, sir.
Why, sir?
Well, I found this ring out there in the dust and wondered if it had any value.
Let me see. A gold ring with a green stone. No, it has no value. The stone is glass, the gold is pinchbeck. But I'll give you a guinea for it.
Why, sir?
Because it's taken my fancy.
I will give you 5.
What? 5? That's a fortune to a poor man.
I wish to make a present of it to one of my servants. 5.
I shall have that ring, sir. 10.
20. I've set my heart upon.
30. The ring is mine, sir.
And 50 says it is not, sir.
Then the devil take you, for I have no more money. And damn you for a crafty, conniving bumpkin.
Did we say 30?
I may be cabbage looking, but I ain't green. We said 50.
And there you are, you knave. Give me the ring.
Thank you, sir. I shall now be able to buy the meadow I set my heart upon, a few cows, and marry my own dear sweetheart. But first, some gingerbread.
Great news, sir. I have found the ring.
What?
Given to your father by his late majesty. I found it in the street and claimed the reward.
The ring. Stone is glass, and the gold is pinchbeck. Do you think the king would give a bauble like this to my father?
But I gave 50 guineas for it.
Then you wear it, sir. Through the nose, sir. You don't think my father stood up to his neck in shite for a piece of tack like that? You insult me, sir. Now, what do you think, Grant?
Totally convincing. Anyone would take you for an honest man.
What?
I mean, simple squire up from the country.
Exactly. Simple squire, come to see his bootmaker and take in sights.
Clothes certainly maketh the man, sir.
Maketh me. It's all that's holding me up. And I'm sick of gingerbread.
Then why don't we sup?
Because we need every penny for the cocoa tree, where we shall win a fortune at cards. And the sandwiches are free.
Supposing you lose.
Do I ever lose?
What if you cheat?
Well, of course I'm going to cheat. Roderick is looking for a couple of right pigeons at this very moment, and we shall give them a game they'll never forget. Now, you just remember your part in the proceedings. You will stand behind my opponent's chair, innocently scratching yourself, and you will inform me of the cards that he has in abundance. You ready? Hearts.
Hearts.
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Spades.
Spades.
Clubs.
Clubs.
Very good. Now watch this and see if my hands have lost their cunning. Name a card.
Ace of clubs. Good Lord.
Yes, that surprises you, doesn't it, Grunge?
Yes, it's a 10 of diamonds.
Are you playing, sir?
Play.
This table is for cards.
Is it really? Oh, of course, the green baize. I should have known.
You are a stranger here?
Yes, I've just come up to see my bootmaker and a little of life, but I've always wanted to see the club where I believe great fortunes are won and lost on the turn of a card.
They are indeed. Do you play?
Oh, no, I only came to watch. I'm so frightfully clumsy. And these horny old hands are more accustomed to the plough than to cards. But I do enjoy a game of whist with the parson.
I see. Well, we could play whist, sir. Perhaps we could arrange a 4. But I should point out that we pay for reasonably high stakes at the club.
Oh, well, it's been a good harvest and nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Allow me to introduce myself. Hugo Maltravers.
Oh, Squire Simple, sir. Your servant.
Now, who can we find? My lord.
Hugo.
Would you care to join us for a game?
Well, perhaps a few hands. I sat up all last night with Fox and lost 10,000 guineas.
10,000 guineas.
Squire Simple. He's come up from the country to show us city blades how to play.
Indeed. Indeed. Squire Simple. Sandwich.
Cheese and pickle would be most welcome.
No, it's Lord Sandwich.
Oh, Lord Sandwich. Oh, your servant, sir.
Since we need a 4th, allow me to introduce you to a recent acquaintance of mine, a dashing young blade who's come to London to dissipate a fortune. Quentin Fuchs, who this very evening had a blind fiddler tossed in a blanket, overturned a pie stall in Covent Garden, and exposed himself to the orange sellers in Vauxhall. A deuced fine fellow, but a trifle drunk, I'm afraid.
No matter. Perhaps they would care to play against us, my lord. We could have town versus country.
Fuchs, allow me to introduce Squire Simple.
Your servant, sir.
Damn it, I've never known such luck.
If it is luck. Do you have an irritation, sir?
Who, sir? Me, sir?
Yes, sir, you, sir. You scratch your nose, sir.
It itches, sir.
And you pull your ear, sir.
Do I indeed? Fancy that. The habit of a lifetime, and I hadn't even noticed.
What are you suggesting, Hugo?
Only that when Simple pulls his ear and Fuchs scratches his nose, we lose a hand.
Are you suggesting they have an understanding? Come, Hugo, for that they need to know each other, whereas the truth is that Simple is your acquaintance and Fuchs is mine. No, I'm more concerned with that fellow standing behind your chair.
What?
He's been scratching himself to death for the past 3 hours. He seems to be in the terminal stages of infestation. He's got no place in polite society. Stewards, have him removed and ducked in the horse trough. I've never seen a fellow so verminous.
You powdered tosspot.
Now, how do we stand?
Well, I believe I'm a trifle ahead.
By how much, sir?
50,000 guineas, 5 whorehouses, and the town of Deal. Well, I think that's enough for one night. I'm hungry. I think I'll pop down to Bellamy's for a meat pie.
You're not thinking of leaving us, sir, before we've had the opportunity for revenge?
We'd be most upset, sir, if you were to do that.
In that case, I'll have a sandwich. Sandwich.
And I'll have a sandwich. Sandwich.
Whose turn is it?
Hugo. Hugo.
One moment, what card is this?
The ace of spades.
Yes. How did you know?
Well, it's just a lucky guess.
What is it now, Hugo?
This is not the card I played a moment ago. It is crumpled and greasy, as though it has been in someone's pocket or upper sleeve. Yeah, and look, it is marked. And so is the king and the queen. They are all marked upon the back. Someone has substituted marked cards.
You mean there's a cheat at the table? I'll play no more.
Whoever substituted these cards will have the proper cards upon his person. That I warrant. A search would prove it.
But whom do you suspect, Hugo?
The one who is winning the most.
Are you suggesting?
They're not all simple.
Oh, I see. That's the way of it, is it? You take me for a country bumpkin, you invite me to play, and when I start winning, you accuse me of cheating. Well, that's an old trick. Well, no one calls Squire Simple rogue or cheat. You can search me and be damned to you.
Stay, sir. There are ladies present. I'll accept your words.
No, I'll not let the matter rest. If those cards have been removed, it is not by me.
Sir, let me say that I, for one, believe you to be an honest man. I consider myself a judge of character, and I swear I have never seen such worth and decency in a human face. You are the backbone of England. You have in you, sir, all that has made this country great. I am ashamed to be party to this, and I apologize.
That is most handsome of you, sir.
Now, I suggest we look further for the real culprit. And we need not look further than the man who is, at this moment, attempting to consume the evidence.
What? Where did those come from?
Ha! As if you didn't know.
What can I say, sir? I can only apologize. Hugo, what made you do it?
I didn't do it. I didn't put them there.
A likely story.
Couldn't you take your losses like a man, Maltravers? He who gambles must be prepared to lose. And I'd sooner be the poorest man in England than cheat at cards. I've always faced misfortune with a smile. I suggest you do the same.
Well said, Father.
Ah, Grunge, you're still wet.
They put me in the horse trough, sir.
Never mind, you're due for a bath.
I don't mind, sir. At least it wasn't in vain. You must have made a fortune. You were right. You started off this morning with a guinea and sixpence, and now you're in a vast estate. I take my hat off to you,
Then
sir.
keep it on, Grunge. I did have a fortune within my grasp, but that ninny of a son betrayed us. All bets were declared void, and I've been challenged to a duel at Kensington Field. If I fail to appear, I shall be branded a coward.
You mean you're going to fight?
No, I'm going to be branded a coward, Grunge. Fetch the horses.
But what about the bill?
Don't worry, thank heavens, we still have the 50 guineas we started with.
Where is it?
Well, I gave it to Roderick for safekeeping when things got nasty.
You gave 50 guineas to Master Roderick for safekeeping in London?
Yes, and why not?
Oh, you can buy an awful lot of gingerbread for 50 guineas, sir. I doubt whether we'll see him again tonight. Perhaps not even this year.
That's where you're wrong, Grunge. My son is not a fool. Ah, I hear his step on the stairs. Roderick, you're late. Where's the money?
I haven't got it at the moment, Father.
But you can't have spent 50 guineas, not even on gingerbread.
No, I've invested 50 guineas.
Invested?
I've had a stroke of good fortune, Father. After leaving you, I stopped at a tavern for a drink. I needed something to soothe my temper, or I'd be down at Kensington Field right now, giving his lordship a taste of powder and shot.
Yes, of course.
Whilst I was drinking, I met this awfully nice fellow, and while we were talking, in came this absolute fool.
Really?
Yes, a complete idiot. And he had in his possession a number of shares, the worth of which quite exceeded their face value. But the fool had no idea of this.
But the awfully nice fellow did.
Yes, he became most excited.
I'm sure he did.
Now, this idiot wanted more money for drink and offered to sell the shares for 100 guineas.
Not such an idiot, Roderick.
Oh, yes. The shares were worth 5 times as much.
And who told you this? The awfully nice fellow.
Yes, so we pooled our money and bought the shares.
From the complete idiot.
And tomorrow we're going into the city to sell them.
You and the awfully nice fellow.
Yes, and you know, he's trusted me with the shares. That's how nice he is.
I see that. Yes, I see their certificates in the South Sea Trading Company, Roderick.
Yes, Father.
You fool, they've gone bust!
What? Do you mean they're worthless?
Not entirely. You could always tear them in half and put them on a string in the privy. I can see no other use for them. I'm now going out.
But you haven't any money, Father.
Haven't I? That's where you're wrong, Roderick.
That's my lucky sixpence, Father.
But it isn't working, is it, Roderick?
But what can you buy for sixpence, sir?
Gingerbread.